Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Falcons Men in North Catholic. Today, I have an iconic man, the only man in North Catholic that everybody loves to hate. That's none other than Russ Bono, class of 1979. Russ, welcome back, brother.
John, it's good to be back. Shame it happened to you, the other thing, but we're around. We don't die.
We don't die, Russ. We never die. Hey, listen. On Facebook, when people found out you were coming back on, you were getting a lot of backlash, dude.
John, they like breaking my chops because I've been known to break a few people's chops in the day.
That's what us brother Falcons do, right? We break chops.
Exactly. It's a form of showing you like somebody.
Hey, listen, I wanted to thank you for coming back on. Like you said, unfortunate things happen with my other YouTube channel. And like I said, I thought about this, and Falcons never die, dude. And I just can't let these memories go. And I do appreciate you, taking a little bit of time out of your day to come back on and to rehash your story, for future generations to see.
Anytime, John, not a problem.
So, Russ, what parish did you come from?
I came from St. Joan of Arc.
Oh, what's that? That's like a Kensington, right? Frankfurt
Yeah,
Avenue?
like a Harrogate.
Harrogate area.
Harrogate.
Is that where all the soccer skills came from?
No, the soccer skills came from Merritt Square. That's where I grew up at.
Speaking of Merritt Square, a good friend of all Falcons, Mickey Gallagher, who passed away, was a Merritt Square guy as well.
Yes, he grew up right down the street from me. Mickey was a great guy. Everybody loved Mickey.
Can't go wrong with Mickey. As a matter of fact, many moons ago, I dated this cousin. I lived in Wildwood off 11th Street, and me and Mickey spent the summer together, man. And I'll never ever forget it, dude. What a class act!
Yes, he was. It's a shame. He was supposed to die when he was younger, and he kept on being alive, and he was so full of life.
Yeah. So, Russ, at North Catholic, who would have been your favorite teacher or oblator, maybe even both?
Have so many of them, John. I don't want to miss anybody, but I'd have to say my favorite was Father Green.
And why Father Green?
When I was a freshman, I came from a public school, the North Catholic. He had me for religion, and he knew I played soccer. He was involved with the soccer, so he kind of kept an eye out on me. Kept an eye for me, and he just good man. Rest his soul.
What would be some of your fondest memories about being at North Catholic?
Well, first of all, graduation is always good. That's a one. It's sometimes you're like, oh man, is it going to be tough? But and then I guess with playing sports would be, winning 2 Catholic championships and 2 city championships, and also scoring the 5 goals in the Catholic League championship game in my junior year.
That's an amazing feat, man.
John, I played on a team that was stacked. We have, I believe, 6 players that started on that team in the Soccer Hall of Fame out of the 11, which that's not bad.
Some of the Ross Bono haters say you scored on open nets. Is that true?
John, they may have been open, but the whole thing is you had to get in a position to have it open,
Amen.
So that's
Amen,
okay.
Hey,
I can take it.
Hey, I know it is what it is, man. It is what it is. That's why you draw a crowd, though. Like you draw when Ross Bono steps the field, dude. Everybody's watching.
They want to see if I can get hurt or something, John. That's what it is. That's why they wait for me on the field at the alumni game.
So they can kick you when you're down, right?
Exactly. They just wait for something to happen to me. I play for a little while in the game, and then I get off the field before I get hurt.
That's funny. So, hey, Russ, Jug, otherwise known as Justice Under God. How many stints or was Russ Bono a good kid back then? Give us some scoop.
Russ Bono never had Jug.
Get out.
Never had Jug. I
Is that
couldn't
because,
afford to because with playing soccer, I always had practice, and also I played baseball. So it's I had to keep my nose clean, and I'm sure were a few times where I could have got it, but I kind of the priest or the teachers kind of give me a break.
so how about the academic side of Russ Bono? How are you on the academics?
I did very well at North. I graduated with honors, and I was okay. I wasn't no genius, but I had honors, so got me through, and it was great being there. I had so much fun.
How do you feel that North Catholic how it's guided you today in life?
What was that, John?
How do you feel? How do you think North Catholic has guided you to where you are today?
Oh, it's like you're a young teenager, young kid growing up, and you know what? They form you. I mean, I had my parents, and then you get them priests and teachers that care about you and form you, making you into a man. I mean, it was tough on them guys because these teachers and priests. I mean, you got 1,000 young kids with teenagers running around with the hormones running crazy. And they had to keep everybody in line, and it was a tough job on them. You don't realize when you're going there, but yeah.
So North Catholic has always been known for putting out some decent food. And during my era was cheese fries. 1979, Russ. What was your guys? What was the go-to food back then?
Well, I didn't eat usually. I came from Merritt Square, so I would walk. I wouldn't go, I wouldn't buy food. I'd bring my own lunch. But the pizza, that was the thing. The pizza was when I ate there, you had to get the pizza.
I'm hearing too from some of my previous videos, guys. I want to get back on. There was an ice cream machine there. Is that true?
That I don't remember, John. That I can't say yes or no.
You know what?
It may have been before me, John. I'm a little older.
Yeah. Well, again, that's why I asked the question, because a lot of guys don't know what North Catholic was back then, and I know in the '90s, when we had our cheese fries, they used to put the tin cans out with ketchup in it and this and that, and I don't even want to talk about what the guys do with it. What I mean?
I don't want to know. I don't want to either. This is a clean show, right, John?
Shit. So I can only imagine if the mentality of the guys back then was like in the '90s. I can only imagine what the hell they would do with the ice cream machine.
We had fun. We had people would get up, and sometimes they would sing at lunchtime on the microphone and do crazy stuff, and and then the priest would come up and get them off there, and it was interesting. Let's put it that way. A lot of characters there that when I was there.
Let's talk about a little bit about proms, Russ. Do you remember any of your proms, your prom dates?
I remember them, John. Yes, I do. Don't want to mention any names. Very nice girls, but no longer involved with me, and in my life. So it's that's a whole other story.
Yeah. Well, proms have always been exciting. You know what I mean? When you especially look at the pictures from years ago.
It was nice. My senior year, we ran out of limo. We had about 8 of us that went in, and it was pretty cool. Nice limo, and you could take your beverages in there, and the teachers weren't allowed to look in there because the limo driver wouldn't let them.
Yeah. So if someone came up to you and said, "Hey, Russ, what was it like to be a North Catholic Falcons?" What would your best response be?
Well, if you weren't there, John, you would never understand. It's the best feeling in the world because you go anywhere. I'll go to shopping and all, and somebody will see a North Catholic shirt and they'll say, "What year?" And it's crazy like that. We're everywhere. We're the Falcons. We never die.
Amen. Hey, Russ, do you ever remember by any chance the direction of intention?
That I cannot remember, but I always remember Mr. Fitzsimmons always rubbing his hands and talking about all that. Yes,
Great man. May he rest in peace, man.
Yes, he was. Mr. Fitz was a great guy.
Did he ever do the Grand Wizard back then with you guys, or what was his skit back then?
He did a lot of crazy stuff with us. That's what, but he was the intention thing, and then he would do all. He was a character, a great guy, great guy.
Who was the most feared teacher during your era at North Catholic?
Well, we had the duo of Rosano and Rankin, and they were pretty tough. We had a more than a handful of tough teachers, and the priest. One tough one was Father Erbrick. Oh, he was a toughie. He was a toughie. A little guy, but man, he broke your chops. He would drive by the playground on the weekends at Piccoli Playground to see who was up there and what we were doing.
That's funny. So you always had to behave on the streets as well, besides being in school.
Yeah, he'd drive by Friday night, and I'd be in school Monday and say, "Hey, Mr. Bono, I see you up the Piccoli Playground now. What was standing by the fire? What was going on over there?"
You're like, what?
Yeah.
So what was it, around 2010? We all got word that North Catholic was going to close its doors for good. And once it's made its way through the North Catholic community, what was your reaction to that, Russ?
I was very disappointed because I know for a fact that the school could have been kept open from our alumni, and the Cardinal, he wanted no parts of it. He screwed us. He screwed us. We had money and could have been done, and even if we needed to raise more, I know it would have got taken care of.
Yeah, I mean, look at the school. Like my daughter went to St. Hubert's. They had the opportunity to raise money, and I think that we were just made an example of that. This is what was going to happen, and there was no ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah, it was a done deal. There was nothing going on. It was getting close.
So let me ask you this question: with North Catholic's fond history of just the students, the teachers, and the sports, I'm going to direct this a little bit more towards sports. What would have been the most classic victory? The year you guys won the Catholic League title with your 5 goals, or the very last North Frankfurt game where we came back to beat Frankfurt in the final ever North Frankfurt game?
John, I'd have to say the soccer stuff. I said it. I know it's great for a football thing, but we were a powerhouse when I played. We were, the North Catholic was a powerhouse in soccer, and hey, I got tons of friends that played football, believe me. But they would always give me a hard time, and I'd say, yeah, but you know what? We win. You guys don't. Because we didn't have great football teams when I played, and they were they were a little angry at me, especially since I was so small. But I could get away with it with them guys.
Here goes another classic one for you. Just the biggest event of the years. It's almost like everybody's Super Bowl. The Northern Summer Reunion. What do you think?
It's great. I will be there this year again, staying at the Blue Marlin as usual. And yes, it's a great thing. It's to see the turnout. We get over 2,000 people. I mean, there's schools nowadays. My buddy goes to Ryan. They have like 500 people, 1,500. I'm like, come on, man. I said, we had over 2,000. Your school's still in, and we really got that many people going. It's a camaraderie. Once you're a Falcon, you're always a Falcon, and they support everything. I mean, it's a good cause. It goes to help out other kids in Catholic schools. I mean, come on, we're still helping, and we ain't there anymore.
Yeah. So when you go to the event, you got the alumni soccer game beforehand. You got the pregame at Keenan's. So the day of, when you're getting ready to go to that event, or you're outside in line, what is it that you're looking forward to doing there? Like, are you looking for teachers, classmates, and like, what's the conversation?
Well, first thing I'm looking for is a beer, John. Then once I get my beer, then what I do, John, is I make my way around. There's always like pods of people. You'll have your Port Richmond gang, your Juniata gang, your Kenzo guys, you know, all them guys around. And me, I make my way around because I know people in every group, and I just go and I just like move around and see everybody, and you know, I have a great time because you know I have so many friends there, and you know I made sure I made a lot of friends.
If you could do it all over again, Russ, would you do anything different?
Probably, maybe study a little harder, but other than that, John, I wouldn't change a thing about being at North. I mean, it was a great experience. I mean, I got to play, I met a lot of people. I got to play baseball. I got to play soccer. I said, my brother, he went to Frankfurt. I wish he would have came to our school. But the thing was, they don't have what we have. They have nothing like we have. And it's a shame. He doesn't, you know, they don't know what they're missing. Believe me. The experience was great.
You know what, Russ? One of the most important things you said out of that whole thing was they don't have what we had. Matter of fact, nobody had what North Catholic had.
Not at all, John. Nope.
Nobody. So, Russ, is there anybody that you want to give a shout out to before we end our conversation?
There's a couple guys, but then I might get in trouble if I forget somebody. But and there's a couple guys I want to tell you, don't give them interviews.
I guess we get them box you aside.
I'll tell you that when we're done this.
Russ, I want to thank you again for you know, taking time out and joining me on a rehash of the Falcons Men of North Catholic. It's a shame what happened in the other videos, but again, I'm going to put it out there to everybody. If you've been on here before, again, you can see Russ, you had Lenny before. This conversation will never get old because it is stories that are always going to be told. Am I correct, Russ, or not?
John, I can't wait to see you down at the reunion. I'll probably see you before then, but if I don't, I'll see you down there.
All right, Russ, well, you take care, buddy. Stay safe, and I'll see you in July.
Sounds good. Go Falcons.